By Jove, I think it's in our favour.
Quiet, man, they'll hear you.
Act casual.
But we had spoken too soon, or too loudly. Or perhaps they had spotted George's blazer. Or they were having sport with us, as flies to wanton boys.
Luff to leeward.
Idiot. Why are you taking the sail down? Tack! Watch the trees.
Luff! Where's the wind?
And so we went on to Marlow, and put up near the church. Marlow is one of the pleasantest river centres I know of, with many quaint nooks and corners. William the Conqueror seized it to give to Queen Matilda ere it passed to the Earls of Warwick. Percy Bysshe Shelley lived a year in Marlow in 1817, and here wrote The Revolt of Islam, with its touching dedication to his wife.
So my summer task is ended, Mary, and I return to thee, my own heart's home. The toil which stole thee so many an hour is ended, and the fruit is at thy feet.
Sorry.
There are lovely walks round Marlow. Hard by is grand old Bisham Abbey. There is a secret room high up in the thick walls. And a ghost. That of Lady Hobby, who beat her little boy to death for not doing his homework properly. And in Bisham Church, she kneels piously among her other children who did do their homework properly. Except for one, who did not live to walk to school.
This is the best. I mean, this is the finest tomb. In many years of viewing memorials, in my entire experience of collecting tombs.
Can we go out now?
We spent the morning revictualling. Our departure from Marlow I regard as one of our greatest successes. It was dignified and impressive without being ostentatious. By the time we had finished, we had as fine a collection of boys with baskets as the heart could desire, and our embarkation must have been as imposing a spectacle as Marlow had seen for many a long day.
Where's the bread? Just put the bread just alongside
Drinks
the
here, Harry. Where do you want these?
Drinks, yes, drinks up the front there. We'll put the drinks in first, then we can put things on top of them, I think. Where are the pies?
Let me see, sir. Was yours the steam launch or the houseboat?
No, it was a double-sculling skiff. Steam launch, indeed. I hate steam launches. I suppose every rowing man does. I never see a steam launch, but I want to lure it to some lonely part of the river and there strangle it.
No longer where the woods to frame a bower with interlaced branches mix and meet, or where, with sound like many voices sweet, waterfalls leap among wild islands green, which framed for my lone boat a lone retreat of moss-grown trees and weeds, shall I be seen, but beside thee, where my heart has ever been.
Steam launch coming.
out of the way!
I thought we might have a drink at Hurley.
Oh, good. I'll show you Danes Field.
Is that a pub?
That's a field.
Oh.
The invading Danes camped there. Not recently.
You know, I keep thinking I can hear voices. Then I thought we could have a drink at Shiplake.
Lovely church at Shiplake. Do you know who got married there? Guess.
Julius Caesar? Queen Elizabeth.
Lord Tennyson.
Oh, bless my soul, George. If it isn't a steam launch. You know, I thought I heard something. Any chance of a tow?
Medmenham Abbey once sheltered the notorious Hellfire Club. It stands on the site of a Cistercian monastery of the 13th century. The monks wore rough tunics, ate no fish, meat or eggs, rose at midnight for Mass, and passed the day in total silence, a mode of life which might, if not overdone, be a benefit to some of us, especially Harris, who not only eats fish, meat and eggs at every opportunity, but often talks at the same time.
Why isn't the kettle on, George?
Could you spare us a little water?
Certainly.
Thank you so much. Where? I mean, where do you keep it?
It's always in the same place.
I don't see it.
Has it gone then? It's still there.
We can't drink the river, you know. It's dangerous.
I'm sorry to hear that. I've been drinking it myself for the last 15 years.
It's all right if you boil the water.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes. The germs are killed by the boiling. They're little crawly things called bacilles.
Bacilles?
Yes. Can't stand the boiling. Drives them wild.
Man said he'd drunk it for 15 years.
How did he look?
Not well, but he didn't boil it.
I need this.
What's that?
What's what?
Floating in the river. A dead sheep.
I don't want any tea.
No, nor me. Just a habit, really. Not really thirsty.
I've already had some. Do you think I'll get typhoid?
Well, you'll know in a week or two. I should look up the symptoms when you get back to London.
Oh, no, I daren't do that. That would be fatal. I remember once looking at a medical dictionary to read up the treatment for hay fever.
Not now, old chap.
And I began to study diseases generally. I turned to some devastating scourge or other, and before I had glanced half down the list of premonitory symptoms, it was borne in upon me that I've got it. In despair, I turned over the pages, came upon cholera, and discovered that I'd got that too.
I must have had it for months without knowing.
Beginning to get interested in my case, I decided to go at it systematically. I started at ague, which I was relieved to find I had only in a modified form and might live for years. Bursitis, gout, impetigo and mumps I had evidently had since boyhood, and by the time I had plodded through to zymosis, the only malady I could conclude I had not got was housemaid's knee.
Well, old son, what's the matter with you?
I will not take up your time by telling you what is the matter with me. Life is brief, so I will tell you what is not the matter with me. I do not have housemaid's knee. Everything else, however, I have.
And I told him how I came to discover it all. Then he opened me and looked down me, and hit me on the chest when I wasn't expecting it, and butted me with the side of his head, and then sat down and wrote out a prescription. I took it to the chemist.
I don't keep it. You are a chemist. I am a chemist. If I were a cooperative stores and a family hotel combined, I might be able to oblige you. Being only a chemist puts me at a disadvantage.
Well, what does it say?
1 pound of beefsteak with a pint of bitter every 6 hours. 1 10-mile walk every morning. 1 bed at 11 every night. And don't fill your head up with things you don't understand.
I was telling George.
I always like